Oh, bloody hell.
It's Black Mirror.
There's a tree growing up the middle.
There is. Look at that. Tree growing out of a tree.
Sign of witchcraft, that is.
Well, back to where we came from.
Should have brought the map.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the right path. What's that is up there?
This is what happens when we follow Google Maps.
Hi, my name's Pete Kelly, and this is my dad. Back in September 2020, sandwiched between two national lockdowns, we went north. On a journey through time. To a remote corner of Scotland. A land of hill forts, stone circles, and ancient monuments. We went in search of a good view, the great outdoors, but mostly we went looking for ancient Britain. Let's go.
Okay, so it's a lovely evening. We're in southern Scotland in Galloway, and we're going to go climb a hill fort. We're at Trustys Hill. Let's go have a look. Yeah, we're still on the path, you see.
Okay.
I think it's actually through here. Okay, no. Let's turn back. I've got wet feet for my troubles now. Yeah, okay, actually this looks more like it, doesn't it? I mean, this'll do. Is this it? Let's go up.
Overgrown and forgotten today, this patch of southwest Scotland is a stunning place to visit. Today, largely home to retirees and farmers, it's coated in a thick blanket of green. But it wasn't always this way. 1500 years ago, during the 6th century AD, this landscape was watched over by an impenetrable fortress. A formidable lair for a British warlord. In myth, this is the age of Arthur and Merlin. But in archaeology, this is an especially important place too. According to a recent excavation in 2012, this may well have not just been a fortress, but a royal capital. Perhaps the focal point of one of the major kingdoms of the Old North, Regedd. Not this hill though. This is something else. A watchtower perhaps, or maybe nothing at all. But little do we know, we can see Trustys Hill in the distance.
Get a bit of B-roll for the doco.
Today, this is one of the most remote corners of the UK. And just like the other little populated regions, it's got an incredible history. A history you can really appreciate from the air. Unlike most of the hill forts scattered around the UK, this one has seen quite a bit of excavation over the years. We were still quite lost at this point, as I squinted at my phone screen to try and make out anything significant. I didn't know it at the time, but there it is. The Citadel of Kings.
Oh, bloody hell.
Sorry, mate. You're just going to have to go for it.
Well, I have a feeling, Peter, there might be an easier route. You see that big sort of phallic-looking thing over there?
Yeah. Do you know what, Dad? I think that there probably is an easier route because online it said that it's good for kids. Somehow I don't think traipsing through bush, being
bracken,
by midges, yeah,
it is.
bush. Yeah.
Well, what can I say, Peter? Had we brought the map, it would have worked.
So close, yet so far.
Right, let's go and see some estuary.
We head back to the car, and then down the coast, greeted by great weather and stunning views. The next morning, not so lucky with the weather, we head out west to explore Galloway. Taking in early medieval churches and ancient cairns. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to catch up with the rest of our journey. And my main channel, History Time, where I make full-length documentaries. And then, finally, a few days later, we're back.
Okay, we're back and we're going to try again. Yes, this looks more like it, doesn't it? That fresh grass smell.
Are you looking for the footpath?
Yeah, Trustys Hill.
Straight up the hill. Till you get to the cattle grid, turn left.
This one, yeah? Brilliant, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning.
Morning. Ah, here we go. Cattle grid.
On this site, September 5th, 1782,
Nothing.
nothing happened. I like that.
So is this one vitrified as well?
It is. Okay, I think we're nearly there. How are we doing? You alright?
Yeah, fine.
Good.
Looks well worn to me.
Yes, it does. Slightly better path than the one we took day before yesterday.
This lovely coastal.
Oh yes, magic. unfortunately. The lightweight one's run out of battery.
Oh, has it?
So,
Carrying a bloody video camera on my head. This is a good time to do this before the midges have woken up.
yeah.
So just remind me, Peter, for the benefit of the audience, who am I walking up here 5,000 years ago? Is it 5,000? No.
No.
What is the year?
So, the year is 600 AD. We are
Unfortunately, my camera wasn't recording at this point,
possible ex-mercenaries.
but I'll talk to you here instead. It's the early 600s, or thereabouts. Heading through the undergrowth lurks a warband of sword-wielding Anglian warriors. Swords for hire fighting on behalf of the Northumbrian crown. An away team come to bring an end to the ancient kingdom of Regeth, which formerly dominated these lands. You may have heard of Urien of Regeth, famous in Celtic myth and bardic tradition as a powerful king. One of the last to successfully fight against the ever-growing power of Northumbria to the east. Before he was betrayed and killed by his own people and rival British monarchs. So, by the year 600, Urien is dead. His sons are dead, or at least not as powerful as they were. And the Anglians from far off Bernicia are able to exert their authority here. They came up here to Trustys Hill, perhaps a site of royal inauguration for the local kings. And they put the place to an end. Not just burning it to the ground, but leaving it in flames for weeks. Symbolically, the place was dead, the power of its kings broken.
Yeah, I recorded none of that. God damn it!
Is your battery flat?
Oh, it's alright, it's recording it on there
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's recording it on here. It's just as well there's a Sherpa following behind.
Yes.
So is the battery flat on it?
No.
You just didn't turn it on,
hadn't
Peter.
pressed record.
I wonder if the BBC have this problem sometimes.
I think they have a team usually.
You mean if you're Dan Snow, you're not carrying a bloody
Yes, I don't think Dan Snow or Dan Jones are carrying their own cameras or doing any of the editing.
They'd have some other bloody idiot doing it.
Yes. They wouldn't have their dad walking along with a GoPro on his head.
Although in fairness, probably Dan Snow might.
Yeah, he might.
Well, here we go, Trustys Hill. Brilliant.
I think the path is over there.
I'm not sure. No.
Navigate.
We appear to be going down.
Yeah, but we go down to go round up again.
Okay.
Because this is the impregnable top of the fortress.
Peter, yesterday I think we were over there.
We were.
Or 2 days ago.
We were. That is where we were.
I think it was that one of these trees.
Yeah. You got to think, when this place was in its prime, there wouldn't be nearly as many trees in the surrounding hills. Surrounding hills would have been cleared, so there would have been excellent visibility from up here.
Yeah.
Still, it would have been protected, but they would have been able to see for miles around. Much like Dinas Emrys, which you can watch now if you click the link on screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we go round and then it looks like it goes up and then it's up a ridge.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Pictish stone anyway.
Yeah. Paul Merton's Grand Tour of Scotland
Could say that.
on a mini scale.
We may not have the camera crew. I think we make up for it. Ah yes, this is it. Haven't seen any Pictish stone.
And we're not on... Oh, nice bird. Little bird.
Here we go, Pictish stone up there. Pictish stone ahead.
It's just a lump of rock, Peter.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Nice view, though.
Yeah, very nice. So these are some of the stone ramparts. They're melted.
Are these modern inscriptions, do you think?
They are modern inscriptions.
New Pictish, as opposed to old. Let's go
Well, this
find
is-
the real thing there.
This is some of the vitrified stone. So we're actually walking through one of the entranceways here. I mean, look at that commanding view down into the valley below. I mean, that's Gatehouse of Fleet today. There probably would have been a settlement there in the times when this place was ruled by the Lords of Regeth, as it hits onto the waterway going out into the sea. So that would have been their port. Up here would have been their stronghold. A proto-castle.
Look at that, Peter. On top of that hill.
Oh, is this one not good enough for you, Dad?
Another one.
He's not happy with this one. He needs more. And here we have the famous Pictish carvings.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Here we have it. So there's a circular motif there. So one of these, I'm not sure which one it is, can't quite see very well. I'll take my sunglasses off. One of them is a sea serpent that is thought to have possibly derived from Poseidon. So there was a classical influence even all the way up here, a knock-on effect of the Roman world.
Oh, look, there's even a date on this one. June 1797.
Did you come up here earlier and do that? Right, well that's very nice, very nice, very nice. The Citadel on top of the hill, and look at that, you can see to the sea.
Pointing.
Pointed that way.
Okay. Very good. I wonder, is that the Galloway forest over there? Do you think?
Yeah, I think probably.
Wasn't that much space on top here, was there?
No. It's an ancient motte and bailey. There's enough room for basically one family, an extended family group. But they'd be the people with all the swords, they'd be the people with all the horses, they'd be the people with all the gold. Okay, so here we are on the summit of Trustys Hill. Once upon a time, this was just thought to be a normal hill. It's a pretty special place. As with most of the hill forts that I've seen, most ancient citadels, they're very well situated on the landscape. You can see in all directions for miles around, and this is no exception.
So did the Romans get this far?
Vaguely, yes. I mean, by the time the Roman Empire collapsed in Britain, this place was completely reliant on Rome. They were the client kings beyond the wall.
And how long were the Romans here?
300 years, 400 years, so you can see why people adapted to them. Trustys Hill in Galloway.
So what happened to the previous owners?
During the 6th century, this place was an ancient capital of this region. Possibly the people who ruled here ruled all the way down into Cumbria and even Lancashire, all along down the coast. And then sometime in the early 7th century, it all came to an end. It was all burnt to the ground.
Okay. By those nasty Anglo-Saxons.
By the nasty Anglo-Saxons, who you've obviously got a personal grudge against because they weren't very nice to peat bog farmers.
Bet they confiscated all their turf.
Yeah, exactly.
Turf war.
Bloody great view, isn't it? But yeah, it's not very big, is it? It's not very big. It's just perfectly formed. So there would have literally been a wall around it, just a few houses.
Inside.
Inside, yeah.
Where were the cattle?
Cattle would have been probably... so there are various enclosures all around the outside. So this may have been an enclosure down here. All around there are little enclosures.
Rampart.
That's right, so various different bits of ramparts. So obviously the cattle are less important than your actual family. So the family would live up at the top.
Yeah.
Cattle would be a bit further down, along with probably, you know, like followers on like merchants and manufacturers and things like this, because there was a lot of metalworking going on here.
Right.
There was creation of ceramics and things like this. So it was a royal centre. That's why it's so impressive, really, because during this time, most people had absolutely nothing. Most people don't leave any trace in the archaeological record.
As far as the eye could see, was covered in trees.
No. So these ridges adjacent to this, would have been cleared. So it was part of the defences of this site. Clear the trees all in the surrounding landscape, so you have complete visibility. But you also have an extra line of defence, because if you have enemies attacking, you can have watchtowers, you can have skirmishers that you leave out. People who saw themselves as royal, who were vying for power, and that's part of the reason why this place may have met its end, because there was lots of rival families, and they would fight each other quite often more than they would fight the Anglo-Saxons. And sometimes they would even hire Anglo-Saxons to fight their enemies for them.
Well, that was the downfall, really.
That was the downfall of ancient Britain, really.
And Ireland.
And Ireland, yeah. Infighting.
Strongbow was
Strongbow was the same, yeah. A few hundred years later.
mercenary.
Exactly, a mercenary coming in. Not too dissimilar to the Anglo-Saxons coming and fighting for these guys. Because that's another thing as well, that Anglo-Saxon metalwork has been found here, which suggests strong links to the Anglian kingdoms. But then all it took was one strong Anglian ruler to come here and destroy this place. That's the thing, the Anglians were also disunited. But the Britons weren't on the offensive, the Anglians were.
This landscape wouldn't have changed that much.
No, wouldn't have changed that much at all. But you always have, when you have a hill fort, generally anyway, British hill forts up in this part of the world and in North Wales as well, they're generally near to the sea, and they're generally adjacent to a town or a village that still exists now, and probably to a certain extent would have existed back then. Because you always want your links to the sea, that's where the power comes from.
From there.
Exactly, out to there. Or a river. A river can do if it's a sea river that goes down to the coast.
Well, that is.
That's the fleet. It goes straight out to the sea. Out that way, you've got your links to the Rhineland. You've got your links to Francia, Merovingian Francia, which was a very rich place. You've also got links all throughout Britain, and very possibly to the far-off Eastern Roman Empire, which has left much trade goods in this part of the world during that time.
Everywhere at the moment.
Bloody invasive flowers coming here, taking our meadows.
Smells sweet.